Have you ever wanted to be an assassin?
In my long life on this planet, I have never once considered that.
Yes, you have. You have to stop lying to yourself. Come on. And since you have, let me tell you about a game called Dishonored, a game where you are deadlier than the bubonic plague.
Clear the street.
I've played this game multiple times, and at this point, there's nothing left for me to discover, so instead, I'm gonna talk about it. Dishonored is a game of choice. Those choices being,
I would never stoop to the levels of an ignorant savage.
or
Chaos, chaos, chaos!
Grenade!
Boom, bitch!
and off rip, you tell me what's more fun. Silently taking out guards, meticulously planning your attacks while trying to ghost every level, or an explosive barrel of whale oil. Now let's move on to the story. Dishonored has you taking the character of Corvo Atano, a assassin slash bodyguard for the Empress of Dunwall, Jessamine Caldwin. Jessamine Caldwin is the Empress of Dunwall, and Dunwall is fucked. The whole of the game takes place throughout different locales within Dunwall, and there is a ton of shady shit going on, but I'll get to that later. You begin the game as Corvo, returning from a long journey, which is where you first also meet the Empress and her daughter, Emily. Corvo is seen here as more of like a father figure to Emily, and that dynamic is played out through a game of hide and seek.
Let's see if you're still good at this. I'll hide my eyes and count, and at the end of the countdown, I'll try and find you. Okay, I'm going to count to 10. Find a place to hide.
It's also used as an intro to the game's basic mechanics. After that, you run to meet the Empress, when all of a sudden...
Oh shit! Wombo combo. I'm gonna Indiana Jones this shit, no swords needed.
Corvo, thank you. If you hadn't been here...
No more! Not again!
Mommy!
No! Get away from her! Corvo!
Mommy! Get away! Corvo!
She gets got, and with Corvo being the only remaining witness, he is instantly arrested and taken to jail. Would help a lot if this fucker could talk, especially when games around this time were, ditching the silent protagonist trope for the most part. I will say the benefit of having a silent protagonist like this is you're more easily able to slip into the role of the character. You feel as though you're responsible for the choices your character makes because the game isn't putting words in your mouth. After being taken to jail, you are thrown 6 months into the future when Corvo is set to be executed.
You should eat, Corvo. This meal comes from a friend.
Ooh, what is that? Raising Cane's? Burger King? Oh, please don't let it be Burger King. Don't let it be Burger King.
You find a key and a note hidden under a piece of bread. The note says from a friend, but you'll come to see why this previously unknown group of people is so interested in Corvo. Now, it's breakout time, and you are 100% able to breeze through this without alerting any of the guards, but I didn't do that. I went out with a bang.
I'll take his key. Screw it, we're busted. Whoa, that execution though. Oh my god, I can carry his head too and just...
And this isn't even the good shit. This is the most linear level in the entire game. It only gets better from here. It's only an intro to the levels to come. After a quick detour through the sewers when you're crawling through manure and ripping dudes with skewers, you end up at the end. Bars. From there, you are greeted by the most chill boatman the world has ever seen.
I'm Samuel, and I work for some good people who want very much to meet you.
Samuel is your transportation throughout the entire game, and he can either be your biggest homie or your biggest hater, depending on what kind of chaos you create. Low chaos, he's gonna respect you. High chaos, he's gonna hate the fuck out of you. We now arrive at the hub area, which is where you get your new missions, and get your gear upgraded, and get a little extra lore if, you're into that sort of thing. Personally, I'm here for the chaos. So what does this area mean to me? It means getting all my shit pimped out. Pimp shit, no limp shit. This game gives you all the tools to become the deadliest motherfucker in all of Dunwall. Deadlier than the bubonic plague. Epic. Bitch. A man this deadly needs his sleep though, so you go take a nap.
Oh, I feel like a new murderer today. Oh, shit. I took too much Benadryl, dog. Where the fuck am I?
Hello, Corvo.
And some mindfuckery happens. Long story short, you're introduced to this guy named the Outsider, who is, gives some exposition about how he's watching you and how you're in some sort of special position. Duh. Then he grants you your first rune, and the otherworldly equivalent of Siri.
The heart of a living thing, molded by my hands. With this heart, you will hear many secrets, and it will guide you toward my runes, no matter how they may be hidden. Listen to the heart now, and find another rune.
The heart is a GPS tracker for these things called runes, and runes are a collectible that's seen throughout the entire game, and they're used to buy and upgrade your powers. For example, my favorite power, Bend Time, costs this many runes to buy, but only slows down time for a little bit. Upgrade it again for this many runes, and it stops time completely. The abilities or core powers are definitely where Dishonored shines the most. And this is where I had the most fun as well. And... Blink gives you the ability to teleport a short distance, with that distance being upgradable. Possession, take control of animals, or after upgrading it, take control of humans too. Dark vision, see enemies and other targets of interest through the walls. Yes, literal wall hacks. And Bend Time, mess with time, and Devouring Swarm, summon rats to do the dirty work. And a new favorite of mine, Wind Blast. These abilities, combined with the arsenal that you already have at your disposal, makes you a force to be reckoned with. So why the hell wouldn't you capitalize on the chaos that this fucking game provides you with? Especially when you're someone like me, who adjusted the config file in the backend to enable console commands and then input those console commands in order to max out my abilities. Look, when you play through a game a lot, sometimes you just kind of want to leave the grind off to the side and just have fun. Do you guys really want to see footage of me asking open heart Siri for directions on how to find these fucking runes? No. And neither do I. Your character customization takes another turn with Bone Charms. Bone Charms are perks that grant you boosts in certain areas, such as faster movement speed, quieter footsteps, or increased ammo pickup. You obtain them the same way as finding runes, but this part of the customization just wasn't really a big deal for me because, again, played through this game so many times, and honestly, some of the perks and abilities just aren't really worth it. I'm sure it's a bit different on harder difficulties though, but at the same time, I will always prefer freedom of choice and amped up character customization over some like streamlined bullshit, you know what I mean? Now that we have the guns, glory, and RAM, let's talk about who's gonna fall disposal to these tools you got. First, let's talk about humans. These guys are the bulk of the enemies within the game, are just, guys with swords. Pretty basic. They'll challenge you to duels, try and dodge your hits if you go at them hard enough, and they'll try and shoot you from afar. Pretty basic. Deal with these guys how you see fit. But different factions have different things going for them. For instance, the Bottle Street gang, if you try and fight them, they'll harness their superior powers of hard liquor to try and light your ass on fire. Then you got these guys, the Overseers. Note the theater of pain masks they're wearing. Turns out, these masks are made of Kevlar and can block your bullets. But don't worry, every piece of armor has its breaking point. Enough bullets will eventually cut through, or you just hit them where their armor isn't. And finally, we have the two mothers of all the soldiers. The first guy I like to dub as the Music Man. These guys are nightmares for getting clips. The music box they carry plays the most ear-piercing, bass-boosted audio imaginable that it's enough to make Beethoven go deaf twice. The ear rape that they play also does damage over time. It slows you down and renders your abilities useless until you take them out. But at the same time, I may be hyping up these guys a little too much. I also forgot I'm a living god with guns, explosives, and a sword, so that's always going to be more powerful than some dork holding a bass-boosted phonograph. These next guys you've probably seen before, probably from the front cover. Tall boys. Armed with explosive-tip arrows, heavy armor, and a Yao Ming level height advantage, these guys will easily fuck up your day. That was until I found out that blinking towards them warrants an instant kill no matter what your detection rate is. How is this fair? And then you got assassins. Assassins are empathy 101. They use the same type of gear and the same abilities that you possess. Meaning they can teleport, hit you with a crossbow, and Dodd, the head assassin, can even bend time.
Another slice out of time, Corvo. Why are you fighting?
Now, let's quickly move on to the less human enemies. Occasionally, when you see guards out on patrol, they will be escorted by these things called wolfhounds. Despite their extremely annoying nature, I usually just try and put them to sleep. I don't know why, but for some reason, I have sympathy for fake animals in video games, but don't get it twisted. If it's life or death, well, you know, YouTube, please don't take this video down. It's fake. Then, you got Weepers. Weepers are the infected citizens who are on their last legs but still managing to keep upright. And despite them being effectively lobotomized, they will do everything in their power to infect you, from slapping you Chris Brown style or barfing on you. They have no other means of defending themselves, so they can be taken out with ease, and if anything, you're probably doing them a favor. If you're like me and went the high chaos route, rat swarms will occasionally spawn in certain sections of the level. Slapping them with your sword is an effective means of killing them, but all that slapping makes a lot of noise, so just make sure you're clear of any unwanted ears. As if everything in this game wasn't trying to hunt you, you also got these plants called spitters that will spit acid at you. They're plants though, so any weapon's good against them. And this list would not be complete without talking about the machines, which are these three right here. Also, to save time, I will go ahead and tell you that all of these machines can be disabled in the same way. Find the whale oil tank powering them and remove it. The light wall is the first you encounter, and it is quite literally an impenetrable wall of light. You can't bend time through it, you can't blink through it, quite literally impenetrable. You can, however, hack it and rewire it so that it ignores you, but everyone else is on the kill list. Arc pylons work the exact same way. Get too close, and they'll zap you. Rewire to kill enemies, or take out the whale oil. You know the drill.
Like they were never even here.
Watchtowers are the last machine that you will deal with. Watchtowers are the equivalent of an anti-aircraft gun, but they're more like an anti-aircraft gun because they only shoot at shit on the ground. Unfortunately, they cannot be hacked like the arc pylon or the wall of light. It's impenetrable. I don't know what to say. It would be really cool to see these things go absolutely ham on the forces they were meant to protect. Bad game design, if you ask me. That was a lot. You got all that? Good, because it's time for your first mission. Your first mission is to take out the High Overseer Campbell, because your friends believe that this motherfucker knows where Emily is. Every level in this game gives you the option of going loud or going stealth, but it doesn't outright ask you or tell you to. The game pretty much says, hey, here's an objective. Here's all the tools you need to complete it. Go fucking nuts. This is awesome because the game gives you the freedom to do what you want, which is something that is becoming less and less common in games nowadays. Certain objectives can be completed in multiple different ways. Do you want to fight/sneak past the guards to disable the light gate? Or do you want to skip the wall entirely to maintain stealth? Each route has its pros and cons, which further enhances this game's deep level design that I love so much. No joke, you could spend at least an hour on each level completing missions and tasks. Of course, that might seem boring to some people, so if you're impatient like me, just skip to the good shit.
Hello there.
I should mention that each level's main objective won't take you an hour. I'm just talking about if you want to pursue something like bonus loot, which is present on every level. For example, the first mission gives you a side quest to help out Granny Rags, the most senile and dangerous senior citizen in all of Dunwall. If you help her get rid of some thugs who are harassing her, she'll give you a rune for your troubles. She also introduces you to the Bottle Street Gang, a crime syndicate that dabbles in my favorite type of liquid, whiskey. You can either help her by killing the gang's members or side with the gang and their leader Slackjaw, which opens up a whole new path of choices. This level of choice and storytelling is seen throughout Dishonored's entire main storyline, and it's what makes it such an enjoyable and unique experience. Of course, I'm not going to go over every choice and its pros and cons that it has. That would be extremely boring. I feel like I would lose a lot of viewer retention if I did that, so I'll just hit you with the choices that I made. So, I've played through this game twice. The first time was a normal-ass playthrough. Killed some people, let some people live, and I got the bad ending. Seems kinda odd, right?
I don't like what you've become. No better than these traitors.
Like, I'm playing an assassin game. Therefore, should I not be able to assassinate people? Not just gonna choke out every guard or whiskey gangster that I see, right? See, this is my main issue with the game. Dishonored explores the consequences of your choices through dialogue and story beats. But if the entire game is built off of morals and choices, then why give me a flintlock, a sword, a crossbow, and rat powers? It's just a bit odd to punish the player for using tools that were given to them. So, if you want to have fun, you have to bite the bullet and become a psychopath in the eyes of the in-game characters.
Did you kill anybody tonight? How many?
And another thing, how can there be high chaos in the city when I leave no evidence behind? I'm mainly referring to the ash kill perk that turns enemies into a pile of ash when you kill them. No bodies piling up if there are no bodies, right? Maybe I am a psychopath. Besides that issue, which, I mean, it's pretty easy to look over, the game's powers are definitely where this game shines, like I said before. There is a certain learning curve if you want to hit clips though, which is what I was trying to do for the most part, since this was like a fun, sort of go-off, sandboxy type of playthrough more than it had ever been before. For instance, I wanted a clip of this asshole who challenged me to a duel shooting himself with his own bullet, made possible through the powers of possession and bend time, only to find out that it doesn't work. I guess the bullet doesn't have physics or collision because this particular encounter is supposed to play out in a very, very specific way. You're supposed to shoot before Lord Shaw and kill him, or he's supposed to shoot before you and kill you. When I tried to hit an assisted suicide clip on Lord Shaw, I just broke the game.
Which possible? But I thought, where am I?
Wait, what? Oh, you have got to be shitting me right now.
Which was immensely disappointing. I settled for something less and continued on my mission. The mission being an assassination attempt on the fair lady for the streets Boyle, who tried coaxing me into a sexual encounter even after I admitted I was going to kill her. Now this is some next level game right here.
Oh, really? Where would you like to take me? Oh, but you're so serious. Come on, take off that awful mask and let's see you smile. Oh, don't stop now. This is so thrilling. Come with me.
After heading to the bedroom, she was met with a position I like to call 2 Semtexes and run. Disclaimer, I would not recommend trying this maneuver in the bedroom. It's way too messy. After that, it was time to kill the Lord Regent, and I didn't even try and stealth this mission.
Let my hands not be restless. Corvo! How is it even possible? My mind reels. You're the one who's been tearing at us, taking out my allies. I'll have you put down like a dog, and history will remember me as the one who avenged her death.
Yippee! I love political assassination. Now the game's over, right? Wrong. Nope, we still got one more twist and turn.
To Corvo, the man who served to change the course of history.
To Emily Caldwell, and the new dawn rising for Dunwall and the Empire.
Oh, that was delicious. All right, one glass. I'm hammered. Time to go to bed. Oh, shit.
Please prepare for a temporary disruption in
Oh, no.
Remain alert.
Put fentanyl in the whiskey.
Samuel, you move like you've been drinking. Did the poison work its magic? Is he dead?
It better have worked. It cost me a month's profit.
Yes, sir. I believe Corvo has breathed his last. Just as you wanted.
You've done a fine job.
Remember, we need the body. If we come forward with the corpse of the man who murdered the Empress, we'll be greeted as heroes.
Yes, it'll grant us legitimacy. We'll be the men who rescued Emily and brought down the Lord Regent and his assassin. You'll see to the body, won't you, Samuel?
Yes, sir. Why I keep sticking my neck out for you eludes me. But I only gave you half the poison, Corvo. I'll drop you in a boat, and then I've got to ship out myself before they smother me in my sleep. That's the next thing. Makes the most sense.
Betrayed by the Loyalists, and I was their perfect pawn. Who saw this coming? While predictable, it transitions into a mission that I did not expect. Normally, I'd think, this guy takes me in, we plan a strategy to get back at the Loyalists. Nope. Samuel gives you the old Moses treatment and puts you in a basket floating down the river, only to be captured by the assassins that screwed you over in the first place. In efforts to recover your gear, you maneuver through the back alleys of Dunwall, taking out assassins and eventually challenging this guy, Dodd. He was the one responsible for orchestrating the Empress's murder in the first place and the whole reason why you're here. After a quick boss fight, the game lets you choose to give him mercy or kill him. Don't think I didn't want to hit a clip on this guy, but after that stupid boss fight, I had 0 mana, so I decided to let him live.
And you choose mercy. Extraordinary.
There's no time to rest though, because we still gotta save Emily. Emerging from the sewers, you fight your way through the Hound's pub and eventually take your revenge on the men that screwed you over. And also, I will say, at the end of this playthrough, I had thrown stealth completely out the window. And with the flintlock being a fucking death machine, plus the amount of grenades I had on hand, it started to feel less like Dishonored and more like Call of Corvo flintlocks.
You have on-scene command.
After finally making your way to the top of the lighthouse, you find Emily and her captor, hit a quick clip on him, and then save Emily.
Please don't hit Emily.
I always knew you would come. You're my hero.
And just like that, Corvo defeats the bad guys, Emily's crowned the Empress of Dunwall, and the world is saved. Right?
What will history tell us? That the daughter of a murdered empress ascended the throne up a mountain of corpses, carried by an assassin named Corvo? No. They'll say that little Emily Caldwell I came to power in an age of terror and corruption, and that she did her best in a world that is not kind to little girls or empresses.
Yeah, so as it turns out, if you end the game with high chaos, the world is even worse than when you first arrived. With the plague running amok, and you having to constantly defend Emily after the corruption within the government is discovered by the public. Hope you're happy with your choices. I am very happy with my choices. Because despite me becoming deadlier than the plague, I had a blast doing it. And despite playing it for the first time in 2023, when it came out in 2012. Dishonored is truly a gem. Everything Dishonored brings to the table truly makes it a timeless masterpiece. Dishonored truly has sliced and diced a special place in my heart, and if you were at all interested, I would definitely recommend checking it out. All right, script overtime. First off, I just want to say, whoever made it to the end of this video and decided to watch all of this, I am so glad you did. Thank you so much. This is a big project, or this was a big project. This is probably the biggest I've ever done, but I've had a blast making it so far, and I really want to continue doing more of it. So leave a like, subscribe if you're new, especially for my sanity, because as you can see, I am losing my mind over here. And with that being said, oh, hey, what's up? That looks like he's going to do the outro. All right, go ahead.